Welcome back to Tennis Manager 25, episode 14. We're going to begin where we left off, talking about Manicella. Manicella is our new youth intake player. He's 14 years of age. He is our highest developed so far, though he actually hasn't even progressed yet since joining us earlier this month. But he's an early bloomer who's got top player potential. Top player means can reach top 30 and win some international titles. That's his minimum potential. Might be higher. Meaning we've got a good one. We've got a very good one on our hands. I bring this up now because we've had an offer. An offer for any of the positions for managing the World Cup for the US, which I have a US citizenship as character and in real life, but we can control any of the four categories. Because of Manicella, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the junior boys. For now, he is a year prior to joining the juniors. He'll have a few years in the juniors, and that means, in theory, 4 years. By his 5th year, he'll be playing in the seniors and working his way up through there. Maybe in that 4th year, he'll start and be making his way up. Depends on how quickly he can progress. But it means with him, as an early bloomer, we might just have a chance to have him among the best junior boys in the US, meaning we would be managing our own player at the World Cup. And once we sign him, by the way, I will be working almost exclusively with him, but definitely not exclusive. We've still got to mix things up a little bit, but I think I'll be focusing primarily on him as our top prospect who can develop much more quickly and do more for us than Uni or Tanaway or anybody else we would have seen along the way thus far. Now, following that, we would want to move on to the pro men, but for now, they only want to give me a 1-year deal with the pro men. Who are coming off a World Cup win themselves. So let's go ahead and accept the junior boys position for the US. We're still not quite there, but Uni is headed in the right direction. That one win, even though we didn't make it through to the tournament proper, that one win helped Uni progress her form and through, of course, the training model. We still have almost 2 weeks until our next tournament. So we have a little more time to continue working on it. But look how much better our form is looking these days. Her mental, positive. We're at straight 16s right now. Very good. Her physical, still good. I mean, her footwork's a 10. Okay, that's not amazing. Her balance is a 13. But we've offset that, right? That is a neutral overall +1 in the physical department. She's good in the physicals. Very competitive for the level we're at. That's better than most. That's much better than most. That's into the upper senior levels. This, of course, is still below, but we've made progress. There's a lot of 9s now. We're about to get our first 10s. We're very, very close to it now. We're about to get, the last couple 7s are all getting close to being 8s. She's making progress naturally, but then the form, the effect of form. We're down to 3 negatives, and they're each just a -1. We're also down to just 3 zeros. Everything else is already into the 1s and 2s, meaning it's on the better side of things now. And I think it's finally going to happen. It's taken us almost a year, right? It's been about 10 months since Uni's form fell off, but it looks like we might have finally corrected it. And if winning a single qualifier is enough to help boost form for Uni, it's not going to take much to maintain it. Her expectations are going to be pretty low, and so any amount of wins will help carry her. And if we're developing rapidly the technicals, which we've done since our hiring, that's really gone at a much faster rate than it ever has, and still be able to make gains in the other departments as well, Uni should start performing. And as we're getting seniors, the mentals, where we only have 3 that we control and 3 that are developed as a player ages behind the scenes, and you'll get about 4 points, 5 points all at once in that category at the right times. having a quarterfinal or semifinal run in the lowest senior level tournament would probably get us a couple of points there and really help that overall mental average. But we're up to 2 stars now on our path towards a 3.5 to 4. Uni's still useful. It's just, I don't know how much further she's going to get now that she's 18. She's going to drop off that early platform here pretty soon and slow down her progression pretty quickly. But she's still got this year of us working with her before we move on to a new prospect. I still have an upgrade on the way that is just about to finish, but we're into February now, and our profit with less staff around, less useless staff around, is actually better. So 22.4k as we're going in, and then we're going to see a big increase. So I think we're going to be pushing closer to 40, but then we've got 3 staff to hire now that we're into February. Let's get on with those staff hirings. So we're going to start by trying to see if we can get a level 4 coach hired. There's a lot of them, so we might be active on this for a little while before I move on, but I think our chances are probably better with the US based coaches. And let's see how these two compare. What I want is 3 attributes in particular from them: ability to motivate, higher the better; tactics; and mental, higher the better. I think we can complement this with a new trainer who is really good in movement and physical abilities and decent with mental as their 3 primary. And that'll give us a pretty well-rounded staff in the short term. And this is actually a pretty good option. But let's see how the other Leahy compares. What was that? 15, 15, and 12 versus 15, 15, 11. So we'll try the 15, 15, 12 first. Wants a better reputation. The other one wants a better reputation. That's going to be a common thing. We're going to have to overpay if we get somebody who is willing. That's how you offset that. They're too good for us. We got to pay them more to get them to sign on. But we'll kind of just go off of anybody now with tactics as their primary and see if we can just get anybody in the Cat 4. And for now, Cat 4 for experience is just not happening. Ooh, we got one. Okay, we got one. Not in the tactics category, but I checked beforehand. He's actually still quite good at tactics. He also just happens to be really good at something else. And his patience is definitely not nothing, but at 15%, we're going to have to offer him more to bring that up. Otherwise, we're looking at, that 85% chance that he will not sign. So that's 5%. That's 10%. There's 20. Let's make that 25% boost. That gets us up to about 40. One tick here will bring us to about 50, meaning he should just about sign. He's going to be kind of expensive, but again, as we've improved those financials so much, this could really help us. All right. Yeah, that did not quite get us to 50. We're looking at about 45, but that's a pretty low chance of failure. I think we've got a good, I'd say 85% chance that he will sign the deal now. Well, our trainer, I'm going to wait until we have our coach officially hired so I know that we are complementing something that works. But the physio will not impact it, so we'll look into this one right away as well. And we'll start from that same level. Tier 5s are clearly not happening, but Tier 4s, it looks like 1 in 10 of them are willing to talk to us, and then we just have to massively overpay. No Americans left in that 4th tier, though. Gotta make it a little bit tougher. Well, that's the entire list of tier 4s. All have refused, so we'll move on to the tier 3s. And they are willing to talk, and their patience that little bit higher with that lower tier. So it's not going to take as much finagling of the contract, but we're still going to have to overpay to get them to sign on. Smaller signing bonus. So there's about 5, 10, 15%. That might even do it. I don't think I'm going to up the monthly wage this time. I'll just make a 4th click here. So we'll add 20%. Could potentially not get us over the line. It got us to that 45, almost 50%. He'll probably sign. Sweet. We did do enough, and both signed. I've actually had a perfect record on this one so far within this series. I've definitely learned over the years of playing Tennis Manager kind of just how much push it takes to kind of get you over that line where you're going to get just about everybody. And so far, the just about has been not the American version of just about, but the British just about, where it actually is over that line. So we've done really well on balancing those so far, and we will sign a contract for both. That means I can also now get in there and look for our next trainer who we want to specialize in physical, so that we have somebody besides just myself who is good in training that department. Meanwhile, Takalenko, pretty good there. That's a big gain. Drop shot's only a 4, but that is 58% in 1 week. That might have been 2 sessions to make that happen. I don't know what his training schedule necessarily was, other than that it was technical. But that's nice to see. Tanaway almost getting that return up to a level 9, but that's 10%. Tanaway is just... I think Tanaway is not only not the early bloomer, right? So only standard. I think Tanaway might just have pretty low potential, and that maybe it's just that Takalenko has better potential than Tanaway. And so Tanaway is just a little bit off that pace. And of course, Uni is better on that pace. A forehand, level 10. There is our first technical skill to hit level 10. And her drop shot has flown through a few levels to get to level 9 right now. Timing still lagging behind, but closing in on being one of those last 3 to get out of the 7s. So we're going to start trying with that tier 4 again. And we want to start with those who have physical abilities as their primary and number 1, Jack Shep. It's a 1-year deal starting out. That's fine. They're always happier when you give them what they ask for on that one. And that's a pretty healthy number right there. We're talking like 25% already. So there's 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. That signing bonus isn't even that big. Let's give him one more just to be sure. And don't touch the monthly wage at all on this one. We can keep that down. I mean, that signing bonus is barely 1 month wage. Much better than paying an extra couple hundred every single month. It's only a 1-year deal, but the monthly wage will kind of be the basis for the next contract. Yeah, that's 50% or even 52, 53%. That's an almost certain contract. Nice. Now what is Jack's actual training levels? Well, it's 11, 13 with the secondary mental at 11. Yeah, it's not fantastic, but it is tier 4, and that's just pushing us more and more in that direction. I'm wondering now how our academy... Well, let's give it a few days. Let's get all that staff officially hired on, and then I want to see if our academy reputation has gone up at all. Oh my goodness, look at all that green in our weekly review. Tanaway up to excellent on the form, good for the others. Morale is fixed. What a relief. We're getting somewhere. Tanaway has made a quarterfinal for a 100. That's what excellent form and good mental strength will do for you. She, I think from March on last year, she only did that like once or twice. And that was at 60 level. Now it's at 100. Of course, it's virtually the same players, right? Graduating group of juniors. Well, let's see how Uni is doing with this slightly better form. I'm going to let her play out her qualifiers on her own. I'd love to see us take a first round, though. Nikolic still has better form, even though our form is certainly better than it was, and it was balanced otherwise. And we did lose the one time we played previously. But not today. That's quite comfortable, actually. 6-3, 6-1. 59% of points, plus 10 on winners. On forced errors was plus 6. Forced errors was plus 3. The only thing that did not go our direction was the service. But it takes 2, not 1. We've got 1 more to go. It is the highest ranked qualifier for this one, Yokina Saigo. It's not going to be easy, but at 1090, this is not like what we had in the first tournament of the year. This should be a little bit more manageable for us. But again, balanced, slightly lower form. But we're in. Uni has qualified for a tournament, and as we already saw, even just 1 qualifying win gave her a little boost to her form. 2 qualifying wins should give her a little boost to her form. So we're going to make a tournament proper. That still doesn't mean points. It's going to take 1 more win before we even score our very first point. So we're not yet getting into having to skip qualifiers and just join tournament proper. We're not there yet, but this is where we needed to go, because more importantly right now, it's figure out the form. And this seems to be doing the trick. 57%, plus 1 on winners, plus 8 on the unforced errors, plus 13 on the forced errors. So it was the errors that very much got us. We were even a little bit better on service. And Shep has agreed to the offer, so we will get them signed in. Yeah, I think Takalenko just has a little bit better potential than Tanaway does. So you're seeing a pretty big difference. Pretty big difference. Really, we're only talking about a point or two on the scale, and we're at 4% with the same trainers. Well, that quarterfinal certainly helped Tanaway's ranking, but it's a lot lower than it was at the start of the season. Where she started about 132. She plummeted to about 200, back up to 180 with her first solid haul of points on the season. Shep, 3 stars as a physical trainer. Genovese, this was his strength. He's 3.5 there, but he's 3 stars training, and I'm guessing that Shep is not. Shep is 1 star, but at least we have somebody now in Shep that can at least give us 1 star for training game plan for Uni, and then we'll still use Shep here so that we can get the 3 stars out of Genovese. That's 4 or 3 stars across the board, except for our latest physio came in at 2.5, just a hair lower, but that's solid. That is solid, and this is solid. Everything but here is now solid. So we've got some decent quality to our training. Now we just need to start seeing some results. Speaking of seeing some results, we are now a 2-star. It's official. We are a 2-star academy. We are climbing up the ranks, and that does start opening you up that little bit to getting those 4s a little easier. See how the patience was higher on that last one. How we can maybe convince a 5th tier. Probably not yet, but a little easier to get those tier 4 signed, meaning we're going to save a little bit of cash in the process. But in the short term, I think our staff is now nice and well-rounded for the rest of this year at least. And then we will just focus on facilities. We've got 220K. I'm going to wait until the end of March to see just how good our profit is, but I actually do think I want to maybe invest something here in February. One of the cheap ones. There's a few cheap, easy ones, and then we of course have those offsetting ones that aren't going to help or hurt your balance, but improve the academy a little bit. This is a good year for those kind of programs. Well, I was going to point out how Uni's predicament now, after coming through the qualifier, is that she's going to go into a first round having played 2 matches in 2 days and already be fatigued. Well, turns out our opponent has forfeit the match, and that's put us straight into the second round. So we get our first point by default, or by winning the qualifiers. I mean, that's how we really earned it, right? But by default with the forfeit. So we have a point. We have made it to the second round of 16. That's worth 1 point. 1 point to our name for our career now, guaranteed for Uni. Prize money up to 1.4K, which of course we're going to have, 60% share of that? So that's definitely going to start adding up more. Can we turn that into additional points? I mean, it's 3 for making the quarterfinals, and it's definitely somebody who is low ranked. Seen as an outsider on this one. Seen as an outsider. It's excellent form for Kimiko. Well, let's see how Uni does. First tournament proper. It's low level, so Uni's not too stressed about the situation, but she's not coming into this one with confidence as she has not played here yet. It's early rounds, so there's not that much pressure, but she hasn't played here, so she is lacking a little bit of confidence right now, but we're good mentally on 3 out of 4 categories. And with the extra couple days rest, Uni is recovered and back to full strength for this one. So loving that part. We're not carrying a disadvantage, which we would have been otherwise. And how did that not become a winner? And then that goes just wide as we track back for it, and place it, but can't quite place it on target. Double fault there though, and it's 15-all. Love that our opponent's already hit a double fault this early on. Oh, that was such an easy winner to hit, and we missed it well long. Okay, nice. That ball, I think our opponent was kind of sitting and waiting and thinking it might go out. When it didn't run out, she undercut it a little bit, and it was too low to the ground. She couldn't get any lift on it. Another winner there, 30-40. Chance to break her. Break point. That would be a really good start if we can take the first game. One more win is a huge jump. 3 points is a big difference from 0. Where 1 point is like, okay, you're off the bottom of the list, but you're still going to be pretty dang low. 3 points still get you ahead of a few players that have succeeded in doing that once, kind of thing. There's our first double fault. Well, nearly caught the line, but didn't. It definitely didn't. That was a correct call. But up against it here just a little bit. Get that point, though. 15-30, getting back in it. Not sure how Uni didn't reach that one. Well positioned. Just seemed to anticipate that she was going to do something different with it. I mean, there's your ball mark. We were right here, and the ball mark was right there. All we needed to do was get 2 steps. 2 steps. Not that hard. Oh, can't reach that one either. Okay, Uni's having some struggles here. We're getting outplayed. But we break her. It's been nothing but breaks so far. All 3 games have been won via break. And it's a break point, and it's 4 for 4 so far on the breaks. With another break point, we've got a chance to make that 5 in a row, but she's battled back to get ahead in this one. Again. And after a second advantage, she takes it and finally bucks the trend. Can we also stick with that and buck the trend to get back level? Well, it's 15-40. It's not looking good. And no. So now we trail 2 games 4. So 5 out of 6 games have resulted in a break. Serve is hurting more than it's helping either one of them with their play styles. And we're down 2 games 5. Uni in a little bit of trouble here in this second round. We are very much the inferior to this match. Did get a game back, but at 3-5, it's set point. Stay alive. 30-40. Unforced. Very unforced. And that is a loss in the first set. Mentally, not a problem. And tactically, it is what it is. Little tweaks are one thing, but we can't make wholesale changes. Uni's got a profile. We got a strategy that works, and we're not going to just alter it. Not at this level. It is what it is. Either she's going to win or she's not. Either way, we've picked up that first career point. We've got her off the ground. But at 4-3, she's got a chance in this one. 5-4. Let's slow it down. So 5-4. We've got a chance to... Ooh. Can't believe we managed to get that up over the net, and it landed so short. And very much back foot. They were both kind of locked in on that sideline and couldn't get away from it, but she was in a much better state than we were. We were very, very defensive at that moment. And just struggling to get the ball over without losing it. But I could already see... I could see some difference in the way that Uni's playing. She's hitting the ball with more authority, aka power. She's hitting it with more control. She's putting more spin on the ball. Her technical skill, going from lots of 7s to lots of 9s, it's showing. The additional form, +1s, +2s on those attributes, pushing her up to 10s and 11s from the 5s, 6s, and 7s that we were seeing when the form first plummeted last year. She's playing the ball so much cleaner. She's just got an opponent that currently is better than we are. 5 games all. Nice winner there. 30 love. If we could get this game, You never know. Our serve is pretty weak, though. Our first serve. She pushes, she's aggressive, and then she's not even close.
30-15.
Played ourselves into that trap, though. That's the problem. We're resorting to second serve a lot. Maybe I need to just turn down the risk on the first serve.
40-15.
And just make sure we're getting it in.
4 seconds.
Oh, come on. That looked like an ace. Looked like I caught the line.
Game. 6 games to 5.
But we get the game. 6 games, 5.
Out. Love.
Nice first ball. Not sure if that's going to go down as a forced error as opposed to an unforced, but it was certainly in that neutral zone in between where it really pulled her off her line a little bit, and her comeback that went just wide almost certainly came from the difficulty of the shot.
15-30.
15-30. A break here for the set would
Seconds.
give us a real legitimate shot at still being in this thing today, despite being a little bit outplayed. Decent return. Got ourselves on the front foot, and it turned into a winner. There you go. 1 set all.
Third set. Final
Nice. Nice. Decisive third set. We'll skip ahead about 4 games and see where we're at. We break her, go up 2, but she breaks us right back. There's been plenty of breaks. This thing really could just go any direction as we go and break her again and then hold serve. It's 4 games 1, now 4 games 2. I think this is, it's obviously not end of the world if she gets this one, and we've seen plenty of breaks happen, but I think this, if you're going to put it away and not do what we've seen from Uni and collapse in that pressure situation, as we don't have that killer instinct composure, and remember, she hasn't developed that, and a deep run into this senior tournament is the exact kind of place where you could finally see that growth and development in a player. But she's going to have to get a little further than just second round. She's going to have to get it. Oh, man, that missed by a millimeter. 15-40. Like, this is that pivotal stage, and we lose the game. So 4-3. You really wanted to put that away and get up 5-2 so that you're on the verge, on the cusp.
Love 15.
And now I feel like we kind of have to break here and not afford to get back to 4 games all. So now the pressure's on. Uni, great job. Covered a lot of ground to get to that one. That was a big 3 steps, along with probably a lunge on that 3rd step. Played it, but just couldn't quite lift it up and over the net. And either way, we were in trouble. Lunge it in like that because our opponent was at the net and would have been able to slam it back at us. But trailing 30-15. Reached it, lobbed it, attacking the net.
15.
But our opponent doing what I haven't seen enough of from Uni, which is hitting it away from the player attacking the net. Especially when you're deep. When you're way back here to hit that ball, you've got a lot more space to put it.
4 games all.
Ooh, nice. That's going to set up a winner.
15
It
love.
does. But we are in that 4-game all scenario. Very much need this game now. Uni, 30, love. Did well to fight back. Very unforced from Uni. Wasn't even any pressure on that one. It was a soft ball. It was right up the middle, and we were already standing there, and we couldn't put it on target. And this is what I'm worried about with Uni, is she just doesn't seem to have that killer instinct, which she doesn't. She doesn't have the killer instinct, and we haven't been able to develop that because she didn't do that well in the juniors, and she's still sitting on the same 8-8-8 that she started as a 14-year-old on. So to now be 18 and still have that same level of composure, it's holding her back. She's so good on the other 3 mental attributes with, like 16s.
40 love.
40 love, though. 40 love. Away from 1 point away from at least forcing a tiebreaker. Now 6 games 5. 15-30 now. 30 all. Okay.
40,
Oh,
30.
Mistake from Uni. Well long. That was another one of those very much unforced. This time we're on the back foot, but able to keep it going. Had enough power there that we're able to get her moving and get ourselves onto the front foot a bit, which turns into attacking the net, and we had the ability to finish off and win the point there, but couldn't, and end up into the tiebreaker. Win the first point. Nice winner there. Now on the return for 2 points. Goes back and forth. One of them starts it, and then the other one's going to finish it, so it's the snake back and forth. So then they do 2 in a row, 2 in a row, 2 in a row, 2 in a row after that first one.
4 second serves.
So here's that second serve. Will be on the next serve. Uni. Same mistake. We've seen that 3 times in the last couple of games. 3 games. Well, 2 games and tiebreak, right? 3 times now we've seen Uni. That was long. That was a different ball, at least. It wasn't lobbed very much. It just had a lot of arc. Fourth time we've seen it, and we trail 4-1. This is for the match, folks. It's 5-1. We've gone long 4 times on the 6 points played. Oh, that keeps us alive. 2-5. The net. Our friend today. Great serve. Sets it up for an easy winner, and we don't take advantage of it. We hit it right back at her. Luckily, she finally makes a mistake. We've made 4. She's made 1. And that's why we trail. Nice. Couple steps back and able to get the rotation, the hip rotation to come through on that. That was a nice ball. 5-4. We still have a chance. Well placed there on the front foot now, but we go right down the middle. Finally, we go back onto the attack a little bit here. That's wide? Yes, it is. 5-all. We've battled back. That was a good serve, though. Led to an easy winner. 5-6. Match point.
Second serves.
That should be a winner. It is. Whoo, 6-all. Is it win by 2? It is win by 2. Oh, no. Match point.
4 second serves.
And she's going to serve the next 2. Just got to not mess up the first one. So good. So close yet so far. But that is the first point in Uni's senior career. And pretty well played. Pretty well played at that. All right, well, if we're going to see our juniors progress, we're going to have to invest. The sports study, we have just enough, but it's 10K. It's not really much of an increase, and it's not actually unlocking anything, so no, we'll hold off on that one. But we do have a 35,000, just small, little bit on the expense. It's going to cost us 3K on that monthly balance, but a 1% bonus for the youth, and we very much need to get this done before our new future champion comes in at the end of the year. Uni's rank jumps to 1186, up 100 spots. So there's at least 100 players that have yet to secure points. Now, is that enough to get us to start qualifying? I'm not sure. I don't think so yet. We're seeing those around 1,000, which means we're going to need to get closer to about 10 points. We're going to need one kind of deep run in that lowest tournament, 3rd, 4th round, to probably get to the point where we're bypassing. But I think we can get to a point here at some stage where we can maybe get a wild card. But if they're qualifiers for almost all these tournaments, I doubt that anybody's really handing out wild cards. Decathlon goes absolutely progressing faster. 20% gain. Okay, it's on a 3, but 16% gain on a 4, 13% gain on a 6. Decathlon is definitely gaining faster than Tanaway. No doubt about it, but Tanaway just got her drop shot up to a 5. That's her lowest attribute. Uni, footwork up to a 12. That's her lowest physical attribute. I did physical training for a change, as we were having some issues with the form there. No longer. 0 negatives. 0 negatives for Uni. We still have a few zeros, but those zeros were the negatives. She has excellent form. Her morale's a little off at the moment, but form's good. Form's much better. It's not excellent, but it's much better. We're not going to get a proper financial review until the end of March. But for now, ratings at least, we're up to hardened, and seasoned. So looking good on the staff. We're up to a 1.5 on the Sports Center, 2.0 for the medical now. It's also at 2 stars, so it's come up from 1.5. Scouting at 1.8, so that's close, and we just made an investment there that should push us up to a 2.0 or above. And then the business 1.9, that's really close. That's going to be the next big investment at the end of the year. I would think we'll be able to invest in whatever kind of the next lowest business category and try to get that up into that 2-star range. Training, amazingly, is just 1.5, but there's a lot of little offsetting ones, and that's definitely one of the areas we're going to look into this year, is the ones that at least keep a fairly neutral balance, gain just a little bit, but provide us a boost, and then that'll help our training, right? That means we'll get everybody developing a little bit faster, and we're going to need that for that new one. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I really feel like we're making progress. We have fixed the form. We have discovered a massive prospect. And we've gotten better staff. Staff's looking better. So things are looking pretty good. Now the next thing to find out is just how much healthier is the balance here in about a month. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.